Now, you can probably tell from my accent that I am not originally from the United States of America, even though I am an American citizen now. I'm from England, originally from the north of England, in fact, a town called Sheffield. And if you were to ask me what my last meal would be, it would have to be the greatest British meal of all. If you ever ask any British person what their favourite meal is, the chances are they're going to reply fish and chips. And it's become such a symbol of British society that even during the Second World War, Winston Churchill refused to ration fish and chips. He knew that the impact on the morale of the British people, if they couldn't get their fish and chips on a Friday afternoon or a Friday evening on the way home from work, would be too terrible, and it would bring the morale of the country down. So this meal has both a fascinating history and a kind of core part of the identity of being British. So if you follow along, you can find out how to make the perfect British fish and chips, my favourite meal. So what we've done is taken our beautiful potatoes there and we've cut them into very fat chips. That's the key to the great British fish and chips. None of your French fry nonsense here, none of your wispy, flappy little fries, these big old British chips. So they are quite robust, but we're going to cook them in a very special way, which means they're going to be very crunchy on the outside and really, really beautiful and golden and, oh, delicious. One of the keys to getting the perfect British chip is to cook it, I think, in 3 stages. And the first one is we're just going to put our beautiful fat chips into some boiling water, only for about 3 or 4 minutes, no longer. And this just begins to soften them up a bit. And then we're going to put them on this kitchen towel here and let them dry. Now we're going to do the second cooking process. So I've got some 100% canola oil here. Sunflower oil, vegetable oil will work perfectly. Not olive oil, but canola oil. And we're just in small batches. We're just going to fry these off for about 3 or 4 minutes. So again, part frying them. And then we're going to move them onto another tray with kitchen towels. So we've set up a kind of frying station. So it's all very safe here. And I'm just going to give it about 3 minutes. You don't need to do it any more than that. I'm just going to move them around so that all the edges get cooked properly. You want them to be this beautiful blonde. We all love beautiful blondes, so that's what you want. Okay, so we're going to let these cool down because we have some fish to attend to. We have here a really beautiful piece of fresh cod. Traditionally in the south of England, you would always have cod with your fish and chips. In the north, where I come from, you would always have haddock. But I love cod, and this is a beautiful piece of cod, the piece of cod that passeth all understanding. So with this piece here, I think we've got enough for about 4 decent portions, because you don't want too much. The next thing we're going to do, of course, is make that incredible crunchy batter. So I'm going to show you my secrets for making the perfect fish and chip batter. This bowl, I've got a secret ingredient. This is rice flour, and this is what they use for tempura. So this makes it really, really crunchy. Whenever you're making a batter, even if you're making pastry, even for an apple pie, just a little bit of turmeric into your batter gives it the most beautiful golden color. So there you go. You can take that one from me. We're going to season that up, a little bit of pepper and a good pinch of salt. And now, another secret ingredient. A lot of people add beer, which is great because that does give it some fizz. This, you could make a martini out of this, it's vodka. So we're going to add a little bit of vodka in. This helps, but again, it gives a really good crunchy batter. So, go on, we're going to add it all. Boozy batter. So we're just adding water to our batter, just water, no beer in this case. And I'm going to start to mix it, but I do it little by little because, as they always say, you can keep adding it, but it's very hard to take water out of a batter. I want to make this about half an hour or so in advance, just so that the glutens in the batter have chance to develop. Interestingly, Back in the old days, in the origins of fish and chips, the batter was actually thrown away. It was only ever used just to protect the fish from the horrible oil that the Victorians used. So we're going to put our batter to one side, and we're going to let it sit. And that's kind of what you want. It's almost like a pancake batter. It's going to give you a nice thick covering, but this will actually get a little thicker as the glutens develop in the flour. Triple cooked chips, part 3. So we've done the first part, we parboiled them. We've done the second part, we blanched them in oil. But now we've got our oil nice and hot. It's about 375 degrees. I'm going to put them on here once we've finished getting them nice and crunchy. Again, do them in batches. Sprinkle them with a little salt, and then they can go in the oven. They'll keep beautiful and crunchy in there. These are probably going to take about another 30 seconds, and they will be good to go. Now that is the color that you want chips to be. We have our fish. We have our beautiful batter. Make sure we get a good coating. Then just straight in. And you can see that it's perfect temperature because it's immediately coming to the surface. We're going to give these about 4 minutes, not much more than that, because you don't want the fish to overcook. So we're going to get that batter really lovely and golden. Then take it out and sprinkle it with some salt, and the fish will continue to cook inside that batter. It's going to steam inside that coating. Already looking pretty good to me. Smells like a fish and chip shop back in England when I was a little boy. So very nice smell. One of my happy times. And there you have it. How to cook the perfect British fish and chips. But before I tuck into this amazing plate that does just smell like my childhood, there are a few things I need to do first. It would not be fish and chips without a little bit of malt vinegar, and the smell of malt vinegar hitting those fried chips and that beautiful batter. A little bit of salt, not too much, keep the doctor happy. And because this is a great British meal, I think we need to have a British beer with it. Some Newcastle brown ale, or as we call it in England, Nookie Brown. Pour myself a beer. I think I've earned it. There you go. Oh, it's quite lively. Time for me to tuck in to a taste of my childhood. And can you hear that crunch? That's the crunch of the perfect batter. And you can see inside that the cod has just flaked inside, so it's steamed inside, it hasn't overcooked. As far as I'm concerned, British fish and chips are the perfect meal. So I'm going to ask you to go away now because I may start making some rather inappropriate noises.
Okay, give me a wink.
I can't wink.
Why?
Because I can't. I don't wink.
You don't do that?
I can't wink.